punch.
Not two-punch Mong. Stop it.
Yeah.
So we are going to go right into the draft here for our final game of the night. This is for the last semifinal spots. Winner will head to the playoffs. Loser goes home, and there's the Ringo ban against Liege again.
Yeah, I love the respect Ringo bans. You were talking about how you do like that Arden ban for the second ban there, and they do go for that. And we're going to have Catherine as a first pick, so foregoing Sky entirely here.
We have seen the Koshka and the Catherine prioritized by both of these teams tonight, so it will be a very strong combination of Koshka and Sky for the first round of the draft for WEV.
Yeah, kind of interesting to think about that, Catherine. I mean, it's definitely the next best Rome pick after Arden, and going to pick up Adagio, and it looks like Scarf for Night Ray.
Well, that Scarf was banned by Hunters in that first game. This will be the third Scarf game of the tournament for Night Ray. Definitely his preferred choice.
What?
And surprisingly, Ataka is going to be picked last. Well, this is very interesting. Most players do not consider Taka a very top-tier pick on 1.11, the patch that we're on. And who will be going into lane? I guess it will be the Sky, and then we are going
roaming?
to have... I'm going to guess it's Koshka for the CC, but we're going to find out. Looks like Puet has actually locked in the Taka, so we're going to go into our final game of the night here, WEV versus Wild. Well, Valdez, this is going to be interesting. If this early game doesn't work, WEV is going to be in a lot of trouble. Looks like we are going to see Puet with that Iron Guard contract, but they have no tank, and they have no crowd control, really, outside of ults from Sky and Koshka.
I guess they're going to be looking to link those two up. Should be pretty nice, and just use Taka, as you said, as an early game kind of roaming hero in the way that Fortress would be, except, I don't know, I think Fortress is just overall better. You know, you just give so much speed bonus to your allies. What does Taka really give? I feel like he has more escape, and
he gives a lot of kill pressure in the early game. That's what he gives, right? He's going to be able to deal damage. You see Liege right here trading very favorably with Night Ray. But that late game is going to be really rough once some of these reflex blocks come through for Wild, because with the very limited amount of crowd control that they have and the lack of a tank, unless they can kill someone as soon as a fight starts, they are going to be outlasted, and that's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. Yeah. But they can all get into the back line very easily. That's one thing. So Night Rays may have a tough time staying alive just because Koshka has the pounce, the Suri Strike coming from Sky, and then, of course, the box from Taka. So they can get on top of Night Ray very easily.
Yeah, it's very true. Maybe just the response that they're going for. We're not going to ban out Scarf, but we'll ban out Arden instead, so you have less protection for that Scarf, and then we'll just go heavy diving composition onto your Scarf and just lock them down.
Well, they also want to fight early. You can see WEV with the jungle invade right now. That's very smart, but Wild is playing this well. Oh, Night Ray actually just going to get knocked down early. That damage
under
coming
turret.
Through.
Under turret dive.
Yeah, that's the advantage of this composition. But they need to start looking for those fights. They get their first kill. It's a nice one, but the response is very good coming in from Wild, because they simply just farm out the enemy side of the jungle and avoid a confrontation.
Yeah, it's very true. I love the response out of Wild here. They're like, okay, you want to fight early? Well, we don't want to fight early, so we're just not going to fight you. Play very passive, play for the late game, allow Night Ray to get farmed up, and that's what we'll go for.
Yeah, Leash taking the worst end of a trade there with the Catherine.
Adagio's being chased down on the opposite side.
Yeah, you see right there, and look, there's another kill, so WEV making the most of this. See Mango actually in between the turrets, not taking any turret shots. He's going to grab one, but can they finish it off? Mong, not going to be enough. Night Ray going to get a little poke damage down with that Spitfire, but WEV starting to make some moves.
Yeah. That's one thing that Taka does have compared to Fortress. I feel like he has much better disengage. You know, he can easily get out of fights just by dodging in and out of the minions. with his various moves, but also, of course, the box.
Mong actually did manage to get that healing minion. Looked like, oh, nope, never mind, Puit got it. Couldn't quite hit the stun. So Zeratul falling behind in terms of that early farm, though. You can see about half dozen back at the moment. And we do see the weapon blades going onto Puhet. So this is a very interesting composition. They're looking for picks, basically. They want to find a single target and burst it down and then chain that into objectives.
Yeah. Wonder if they're just going to use like the Stormguard banner damage at the same time rather than just having it be built into a support item. Just use it for extra damage and then just go straight up weapon power. As you mentioned before, just to go ultra aggressive with this composition.
Yeah, they're still doing a good job of taking the enemy backs, getting deep in on these invades, and you can tell that Wild doesn't really want to fight this. They know that they will have an advantage if they can get into the late game and actually start to have 3v3 team fights.
Yeah. You see Sky. Leaves there playing very passive in the lane, knowing that the enemy is not in their own jungle, so probably looking for a pick. Really nice split here from WEV. I think everyone's going to get out here.
One thing we're going to have to watch for in the late game, Valdez, is that Catherine silence, because against Koshka, Sky, and Taka, that silence is going to be extremely important and could really shut them down because they need their abilities in order to kill Night Ray instantly. Otherwise, that fight is not probably going to go their way.
Yeah, it's very true. Imagine Taka's running in and just gets silenced. What do you do then? Are you just going to auto-attack a bunch of times? I guess that's all you can do, really. It's a fantastic disengage tool against this composition, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, I thought actually Night Ray might be going for the Frostburn first, but he is definitely not. Going for the Broken Myth, so that's a bit intriguing. Thought he would like a little bit more kiting potential there, but he wants the damage.
Yeah, he may just be going for heavy damage into Eve of Harvest, try to survive off of that Crystal Power lifesteal instead. Not a bad idea, because I feel like even if you slow down Taka, you're still not going to get away from him.
That's
also,
true. The gap closers are there for
Koshka, even if you slow her, she's going to get onto you.
All right, there's the ultimate on the Bong, or the Night Ray. He is going to get bursted very hard, but he gets out with the boots. They can't quite focus fire enough. They split their damage between Mong and Night Ray right there, but just a huge amount of early burst from WEV.
Yeah, not sure if that was on purpose by Wild to stack Mong onto Night Ray. We've seen this from time to time where it's very hard to click one specific hero when they're both right on top of each other, so just stacking yourselves make it that much harder, and Mong is easily able to eat a lot of damage there.
Gets out. We've seen very good sprint boost use from Night Ray before. That has been a strength of his on Scarf for repositioning. Gonna go after this turret right now, Puhet, trying to dissuade them, but this is where Wild wants to be. They have a great composition for sieging, and as long as WEV is out in the open, they're not a danger.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Lee's getting a little bit too far forward, eating a stun.
And there's going to be the ult. Does stun too, but there's no follow-up. Mango just not there. And there's a nice turnaround kill. So first kill on the board for Wild.
Yeah, Lee's getting that Frostburn. Maybe just wanted to do a bit extra poke damage. Got slightly too far ahead and eased the stun. From there, you're getting slowed from both the heal from Adagio and the goop from Night Ray. And you're just not going to go away from that.
Well, tension bow finish for Puhet. This is so all in the early game. Light shields picked up, so it looks like the Aegis will be the items of choice for Mong and Zeratul, interestingly enough. So they want to just get that reflex block to deal with the Koshka and the damage coming out of Sky, but they don't have much against this tension bow. This is a nice moment for a potential kill and a power spike here from WEV. They're going to go on to Night Ray. And nope, Mong just there. He's the Night Ray, the Scarf defender right now.
Yeah, and even Zeratul hanging around, just taking some small minions here and there, but really just waiting, because I'm sure that Wild is good enough to notice this tension bow pickup, and they're saying, okay, they're going for a kill right now. Just stick around Night Ray and just not let him die. We need to keep this gold mine, not lose anyone, and just stick together, and we should be okay. They just need to not die before this later game.
Yeah, this is a smart play, though. You can see how defensively Wild is playing. They know what their win conditions are, and as long as they can stay back and keep farming up this Scarf, they will be in a good position. Yeah. So they're going to start this, though. They can do this gold miner very fast. There's the ultimate coming down. It's not going to be available, though, for a fight. And Puet's getting very low. He actually dies. They finally get the gold miner, but they trade it. They get 200 gold, though, so a valuable trade overall in favor of WEV.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was just in shock at how fast Puhet was going down. Uh-oh.
Mango's going to burn from the perk from the Scarf. Not going to die. Wild doesn't look like they wanted to retake this gold miner immediately. Obviously not much of a payout there, but the control can be worthwhile.
Yeah, they're going for the control. They want to take this turret out, but Liege being up is such a pain because Sky is fantastic. They're going to try to kill him.
Now there's the dive coming through, and there's the ultimate coming from Adagio, just not enough damage. And there's the final turret shot, does pick up the kill. Taka, Puhit will grab that one.
Yeah, really nicely done. Nice defense of the turret. Liege even diving in and baiting out a lot of damage, but still able to survive, and Puet getting there just in time.
Hard to dive Sky with that Frostburn, though, because you do get slowed. And there's really not a lot of mobility from this Wild composition, so they can't just get in and out very quickly like WEV.
Yeah, very true. Do have that very early Aegis pickup by Liege. Definitely going to help out against the double crystal composition of both Adagio and Scarf. Just gives you a lot more survivability. You have so much damage coming out of Puhet as well that you wouldn't normally have, so you don't have to go all in on the damage.
Hey, look, opening up with that silence, but they didn't actually land the stun from the Adagio ultimate.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. Liege with that very early shield build is not going to take all that much damage to go down from Scarf.
Okay, well, WEV looking around that gold miner again. They're trying to defend. They need to have a large gold lead if they want to be competitive in the late game.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, like, what is the next step for Puhet in this build? It seems like he's just buying a lot of support items, you know, flares, scout traps, picked up a reflex block, going to be quite nice against that Catherine. Taka, another one of these heroes that you can't really get stunned, or else you're going to be made pretty useless in those fights, especially when you're this squishy. Going all in on a build such as Tension Bow first.
Yeah, it's all about that silence. Mango here all by himself. He's going to get stunned, but Reflex Block will ward it off. And Wild, they don't really need this gold miner. It's not actually imperative. They're going to actually get the stun down, though, and there's a chain stun right into the Sky ultimate. Nicely played, but there's an ult from this Scarf. He's not going to be able to follow up, however. One kill for none. Adagio just not there. Night Ray still trying to poke out with his Spitfire. Leash has to be careful.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, really unfortunate positioning for Wild. If they could have baited that much damage onto Mong, and even though he didn't get that Blast Tremor off, there was no silence that came out, could have been a fantastic fight for Wild.
Yeah, Night Ray takes a bunch of damage from Puet. Lee's trying to go in right here. He is a bit low. They're trying desperately to save this turret, and they are going to keep it up for now. That would be a big turnaround in this game, though, because Wild has to start sieging and getting some of these objectives, but they have delayed the game without taking too many losses so far.
Yeah. I do feel like I agree with you. Even though they are slightly down in gold, they're just sticking in this one. They're not getting too far behind. Wow. And Taka's just going to become less and less effective here. I would love to see them try to take a fight, possibly, and go for this gold mine. I'm not sure if they want to get that far behind and let that one complete once again. So far, WEV's defense of the gold mine has been quite fantastic, though.
Yeah, you know, Valdez, I think you just trade this gold mine for this turret and just say, okay, we came out even in terms of gold with that trade, and that's all we have to do right now. The risk surrounding going for that gold miner could just be not worth it, while WEV is still at a strong point for themselves in this game.
There's no mini candy right now, though. But, again,
well, there is one in Taka's inventory. Mong actually going to dodge out of the way and stuns Liege instead. No more death from above, but of course very short cooldown on that ultimate. And WEV playing forward, trying to push this wave. They don't want to give up that turret if they can help it.
Yeah, Sky just as a hero is so fantastic at clearing the waves. Once you max out, you overdrive that B, you could just clear the wave nearly instantly with even just one item.
Lots of damage taken there by Night Ray. Mong is looking for a potential stun and not going to find it. And there's the gold payout. Night Ray already low, but is there enough follow-up? Night Ray trying to kite this out. Death from above going to come down. Does get a stun off, but Zeratul do see on the backside. Taka's going to fall first. Zeratul does go down as well. Mango trying to turn this one around. What? Night Ray just barely going to live. The turnaround from Mong, and the Eve of Harvest doing just enough work right there. And there's Mong on your screen. Pretty happy about that one. They want to finish off this turret. Oh, Night Ray, that's not the right direction for your Spitfire to go.
Nice try, though, you know, just sticking in there. Fantastic mechanics out of Night Ray to just barely get that kill. Bait. Mango trying to go for that last bit of damage onto Night Ray, but just barely not enough. Nice job by Mong as well to stick around and just protect that Scarf. So very nice trade. And overall, though, I still feel like WEV is okay. They haven't lost that turret. They got that immense gold payout from the gold mine, and it's about near 1/4 complete as well. If they could secure another gold mine here and not take too much more damage on this turret, they'll be in a fantastic position.
Well, that's going to be the trick, though, right? It's been Wild's objective this entire time. There's the clear. And they're going to try for a dive. Leash is going to reflex block, but they do get the turret. No stun up right now, though, and they've got onto Night Ray in the back line. Zeratul getting low, does get a bit of healing down, and now they're just trying to kite. There's an ultimate onto Mong. They're going to take 2 in trade for that turret. So nice trade. WEV fighting back this game. They've been playing aggressively. They really delayed that turret kill. Does finally go through. It is a net gold win for Wild, but they're going to try another dive right here. Night Ray may have to give this up. He's going to try and just kite through his own flaming goop. This doesn't sound very good when you want to put it like that, but they will trade for the turret. So WEV really doing a nice job here.
Yeah, even though they lose their own turret, they're able to pick up 2 kills and get the opponent's turret as well. And they still hold control of this gold mine. It's been decently back and forth, but overall I still feel like WEV in a pretty commanding lead so far. We have to see if Wild can delay until we get, after 20 minutes or so. Let's take another look at this fight.
Yeah, coming back through, you do see Night Ray trying to use that reflex block, but they really did extend very far, and the damage coming in from WEV, and the fact that the Catherine stun was down, it was on cooldown when that fight started, made a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. And you could see there's just no getting away from this composition. All 3, Sky, Koshka, and Taka are always going to be on top of you.
Yeah, but you can tell Wild got frustrated. There's an ult coming through. They're not close to that turret. Night Ray wandering around right now. They've nearly killed Leash, but a great death from above. Holy cow. He's going to stun too, but the turnaround from Night Ray is there. He gets time to channel his ultimate, and now Poohead on the run. There's no turret to run to. Can he hit his last couple of Spitfires? Going to be the question. There's a nice dodge. He's going to go invisible and double back into the other brush, but Mong's going to find him. There is no escape for you, Poohead, in the end. He's going to try and jump onto the minion wave. Does take a little bit of damage from the minions.
Oh, gets the speed boost from his perk. He's still on the run.
And he's back to being invisible right now. They do have a scout trap there, though, so they're going to have a very good idea of where this guy is going.
Big thing about this is that he denies the ace, rather.
Yep,
there's no big push down the lane. Not everybody on the opposite side is going to...
Warhorn used.
Yeah, just so many of these items still being used. And Poohet still on the run.
You have to be kidding me.
Is he going to get out?
Wow, the jukes. Very impressive play from Poohet. Denies the ace and possibly a turret or another objective going through.
You can tell that this is not Poohet's first time playing Rome Taka, which is funny enough. Really, really nice jukes there out of Poohet just to deny so much, as we talked about.
Yeah, has that Fountain of Renewal in addition to the Warhorn now, so is building a more supportive style after that initial tension bow. So we'll see what WEV can do. They still have about a 3.5K gold lead, but that has been cut down over time. And it looks like Wild may still have a shot in this one.
Yeah, they definitely do. If you just looked at the items they picked up, Catherine getting both a Warhorn and a Shiver Steel. They have fantastic engage.
Oh, Night Ray gets caught out, though, and he's going to get hit dead on by the Sky ultimate. He is going to pop his boots and try and get out of this one, but he's already down, and that's going to be too much. They need Night Ray for these fights. The face check of that brush is going to be the undoing of Wild in the end. Now they're going to turn on to Mong. Very good at turret diving. They lose Poohet, though. In the end, the ace still comes through, and they're going to get another tower.
Yeah, really nice job. Just a bad face check there. And if you're going up against this kind of composition, if they can get the fight already with the big advantage in gold and items, if they can get it on their terms, you're not really going to get away. The whole point of this composition is to kill Night Ray as fast as possible. And if he's the first one going down, you know it's not going your way.
Now, that chain CC, what a clutch Sky ultimate in that choke point to lock down Night Ray long enough to kill him. And that's going to be a huge difference in this game. They get ace, they lose 2 turrets, and now they're fighting down from 7,000 in the hole. And here comes a Kraken, going to be taken here quite easily by WEV.
Yeah, it looks like Wild knew this was coming, but just a little bit too late. Throw a flare in the brush, but Kraken is already unleashed. I wonder how Wild is going to deal with this one.
Yeah, take a look at that again. Look at that ultimate straight into the death
no.
from above. There's no escaping that. Night Ray just gets bombarded and dies. So Wild, big mistake. And we actually have another fight going on right now. Scarf is again dead on our screens. So Wild face checking again, actually. We'll have to see a replay of that. It's going to be another ace, and the game.
Well, there you go. Last team fight unfortunately missed for you guys. But yeah, that's going to be it. It looks like what happened was Wild was waiting in a brush, and the fight just still didn't go their way. We're going to have to take a look at the replay. Sorry about that, guys. But either way, it's going to be WEV advancing out of the wild card and into the semifinals.
Wow, taking a Rome Taka, making it work. But yes, that last fight, really surprising because you